Welcome to another episode of Healthy Living with Julie. I have a very special guest today. Her name is Danielle. Danielle and I go back a few years. Back in 2018, she was buying some candles and LED lights. But it wasn't until more recently that I started seeing some of her posts on Facebook that I found so inspiring, to the point where I saw her at the gym and I complimented her on her posts. You know, I love seeing people want to better themselves. You know, in any way, shape, or form. You know, it's all about choices. And so it's a pleasure to have you here today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Danielle Kakeway. I'm from Wajashkanikan First Nation. I'm a mother of three. I have a 19-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old. My son Carter graduated high school and he went away to Calgary to play basketball for a prep league team. And yeah, I'm just here trying to promote, healthy lifestyle living. Myself, I'm in recovery almost 8 years.
Wow.
I had a battle with alcoholism, so I'm sober from booze for 4 years. I'm just here to let everyone know that if I can do it, you can do it. Set goals and, healthy boundaries and take it day by day.
Beautiful, beautiful. It is, it's baby steps, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't all happen overnight. I try to always let my clients know that, you didn't get this way, or whether it's a weight issue, a health issue, it didn't happen overnight, and resolving it isn't going to happen overnight, but by taking those little steps forward, every step counts. Nutrition is huge, as we all know, right? So what goals have you set and achieved since you started making healthier choices?
I'd say for myself, pregnancy, carrying a baby into the world, it takes a lot from our bodies as women. Myself, I've gained over 70 pounds through each pregnancy, and, women put a lot of, pressure on ourselves to bounce back after pregnancy, and it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a month. For me, my son's 2 now, and I'm finally almost back to pre-pregnancy weight. So for me, it was just to be able to run around with my kids and be active, because I was born in 87, and back then we didn't have parents who would chase us around at the playground or take us to the beach, every day.
No, it was go outside and play.
Just go, fend for yourself.
Be home before it gets dark.
Yeah, when the lights come on, come back home, or if you hear us whistle, it's time to go home. Yeah. But for me, it's to build those memories. So my daughter Malia could be like, oh, my mom came to the playground with us and played and chased us, because I didn't have memories like that. I had memories of, climbing in the trees till it got dark, or, stealing cigarettes, from the adults at the house, I didn't have those kind of, intimate memories with my parents. So I'm just trying to create, a healthy, I want to be a healthy role model for my children so that they can mimic that and carry it on to when they're children, and, just.
Yeah, it's a great way to break the cycle, right?
Yeah,
if nobody breaks the cycle, and there's a lot of that, right? So when it comes to a lot of the diseases that people are dealing with, such as diabetes, and I can go on. A lot of times when I have clients come to me and they say, well, my mom had it and my grandma had it, so naturally I'm going to have it. But the singular factor is the environment, right? So what was your grandma eating? What was her physical activity like? Mm-hmm. What was your mom eating? Because chances are it's been passed down from generation to generation. So until someone breaks that cycle, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And there's no denying that, I'm not that far behind you. I was born in 84, where there was a lot less of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't remember having a phone until, I don't know, my late 20s, I guess. You know, there's a lot more screen time happening, video games, kids aren't as active anymore. The food industry, I mean, nowadays, you know, even a lot of products that are absolutely not healthy are being promoted somehow as being healthy. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, so even for people who are trying to eat better, it's kind of confusing in the grocery store sometimes. Mm-hmm. I think you could agree with me there. Like when you're shopping, you know, even for, you know, we'll say down the cereal aisle. I mean, I always try to tell people, try to find a cereal that has more fiber than sugar.
Yes.
It'll take you a while.
Yeah.
Like you might be in there for a while, but there is a few, but there's not many, right?
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, what are your favorite health and fitness books or magazines you read, or someone who's inspired you? Like what got you going to begin with, to decide to make these changes?
I think when you're pregnant and you gain all that weight, the possibility of developing gestational diabetes, that really scared me. So I was pretty active during my last pregnancy, but it was more like, you know, I'm the daughter of a residential school survivor, and alcoholism and diabetes, you know, and addictions was rampant in my family and, you know, amongst my friends and, you know, distant relatives. I just want to be here for a long time. I want to maybe be 100 years old, and that's like my ultimate goal, is to be a healthy, fit grandma. Like I'm looking long term. I'm not worried about today or yesterday. I just want to be better than I was yesterday. And I feel like, you know, we can only control so much, but how we, you know, look at life, what we, you know, indulge in, I think it all matters, like long term. Like, you know, like you said, diabetes, you know, my maternal and paternal side, they all have diabetes. I don't have diabetes. And
have you even had like pre-diabetes, like any scares or anything?
Yeah, through pregnancy, that's what scared me, right? Because I gained all this weight, but yet I was eating healthy. I avoided, you know, crappy foods for my baby and myself. And then I was like, hey, Danielle, like, you know, you can't be 230 pounds because you're at risk for, you know, diabetes. So that was like my ultimate goal, was to shed the weight that was making me feel self-conscious. What is that, like post-baby weight? And then, you know, just have the goal of being clean, healthy, active.
That's wonderful. I mean, even if it took that, that's great. I know, like for me, I mean, my first pregnancy was at 16. I know that's young, and I got a lot of, you're just a kid having a kid. For me, life was a bit different. I mean, I graduated from high school at 16. I was on my own, and having my first daughter completely changed my life. I don't feel that I would be here today if it wasn't for her. And then with Destiny, with my second child, again, I had a really great pregnancy, but near the end, I ballooned like huge, and I ended up having to have an emergency C-section, and that was really scary. And I mean, taking the weight off afterwards is hard. Mm-hmm. It is. And it plays a lot with us up here, right? Yeah. Like, you know, I mean, the stretch marks, just everything, it's hard. You know, I feel like as a community, we need to get together and support one another more, you know. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Living with Julie. Moving on, what is your favorite food to eat? Your favorite health food, you'd say?
I would say chicken. I like to eat anything with chicken. I try to experiment with new recipes, so that's a big thing. I was thinking last night when I was cooking, how can you encourage people to take the time to prepare their food? Well, one, like you can't be in a rush, have a plan, and, you know, just have like that good energy. Like you have to feel good about the food you're putting into your body, right?
Yeah, it can't be torture.
Like that was me. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna make that. I'm gonna make something that I like making. So, you know, I just made some chicken Caesar salad for me and my girl, and that's what we made. Like that's, you know, baby steps for her. You know,
I think it's a lot easier to continue a healthy lifestyle when you're eating things you actually enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Like I find a lot of people will go on these diets, which is a diet instead of a lifestyle change. I don't like the word diet, period, because that's temporary, right? Temporary means chances are you're going to start eating all the same stuff again, and then the weight will just come back on. So it really is a lifestyle change. And I realize it's not easy for everyone just to give up everything at once. But, you know, what were some of the first things that you chose to give up?
To give up?
Like some of the changes that you made, like from the way you might have been eating before to when you started eating a little healthier.
To always have snacks on hand.
That's
you know, like just look at our body like we do our vehicles. You know, what we put into our vehicle is how our vehicle works for us, right? So what we ingest into our body is like our fuel. So, you know, be mindful of your protein, be mindful of how much sugar, you know, that extra sugar that you're taking in. Like for me, I'm mindful of sugar because of how it affects my skin, right? So I always want to be hydrated, and those were some of the big things that I'm always thinking about. Like, you know, it's just naturally to look, oh, there's that much sugar in it. Like, you know. Yeah,
read your labels, right? That's a good start right there. That's a good start.
And then it kind of opens your, you know, your mind up to like, you're not doing it. You don't even know you're doing it when you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like, whatever that's called.
And I feel like what you just said, like your skin, that is such a good reason, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize that it's not just the excess weight on how these processed foods, high sugar foods affect your body, right? If you are living with chronic pain, that means you have inflammation in that area, and those kinds of foods are going to make that worse. So you're probably in a lot more pain than you need to be in because of what you're eating. You know, that's, you know, there's a ton of healthy benefits to eating healthy and changing your lifestyle. What would you say is your least favorite healthy food? Just out of curiosity.
It's actually spinach.
Yeah?
We have a love-hate. Like, I know it's so healthy and you can eat so much of it and there's so many great benefits, but the taste, I don't know.
Have you tried it? Have you tried it frozen in a smoothie?
No, not yet. So I still eat it though. It's just like we have a love-hate. Like,
I don't like it, a whole bunch of different ways to cook things too, right? Like when it comes to spinach, I mean, you could throw some in your salad. You could, if you really can't stand it, you can absolutely throw it into a smoothie. You can actually buy frozen spinach balls, like Safeway sells them, and just throw a couple in a smoothie, right? Like spinach, some people don't like it, but it does have some pretty good nutrients. It does.
That's why we have a love-hate. So,
what about kale?
It's actually okay, but I don't indulge.
Because it's similar. That's why I'm asking, right? Because there's always other options, and I never force. Like even when I make a meal plan for a client, the reason why we have a consultation is because I discuss with them. You know, their likes, their dislikes. They're like, if somebody really doesn't like broccoli, I'm not going to put it on their meal plan. It's that simple, right? Like, I'm not going to tell them to keep eating something. There's so many healthy options. You don't have to eat the things that you dislike. Now, if you tell me you don't like any vegetables, we're gonna have to talk about that. You know, like, but there's ways around it, is what I'm saying. What would you say is your favorite reward meal? And I say reward meal because I don't like saying cheat meal. Cheat sounds wrong. Or do you like to reward yourself in other ways, like clothing or?
For myself, I love Red Lobster, so do my kids. So that's kind of like, I look forward to that.
Well, we don't have one here, so it's always
not that
like, often.
No, it's not. But for me, when my friends ask me, like, do you do a cheat meal, or, you know, how do you get motivation? Well, if you're put in like, you know, your solid week of exercise, buy yourself a pair of shorts or like a new sports bra.
Exactly.
Or, you know, like,
it doesn't have
it's
to
the
be with
little
food.
things. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. And who doesn't get excited for new gym attire, like new shoes or new shorts or.
Exactly. It's a goal that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big
it's
difference.
A win-win.
Yeah. Big difference between going to indulge in a McDonald's meal than, you know, having a new pair of pants that, you know, you look in the mirror and you're like, hey, these are fitting pretty nice. I know for myself, even after I had my children, I bought clothes that were too small for me to purposely try to fit them. But clothes I really liked, you know, just to get there. I personally don't do reward meals, cheat meals. I find they make me feel horrible. Like, every once in a while, you know, if I'm out at a gathering or something, especially if it's homemade, I'm not a sucker for like cakes from the store or, you know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, I mean, some of the elders can bake really nice stuff and like I'll have a little bit, but I find that like I can really feel it. Like my sciatic, like my back will act up if I eat, you know, so for me, it's, you know, just reminding myself that, hey, how much pain do you want to be in? Right. And alcohol is one of the main inflammatory causing. Huge. I mean, there's no benefits to alcohol. I think we know that. So yeah, alcohol, I mean, if you're having a lot of inflammation, a lot of pain, that's definitely one of the things you want to stay away from. Absolutely. Do you take any supplements?
Right now, I just use my AMRAP, which is BCAAs, and I take a pre-workout. My favorite line right now is Badge 27, like 0 sugar. And I'm mindful of my labels too, so if it's protein, make sure that there's only a minimal amount of sugar in there. But yeah, BCAAs, pre-workout, protein.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I take vitamin D in the winter.
Okay.
My pre-workout is a nootropic, so it doesn't, I don't like the ones that give you the tingles in your fingers and stuff. I don't. So for me, it's more mental focus, and I really like those. And the ones I get are through Revolution. I really like the Hero from there. When it comes to eating, what are your top 3 recommendations? And you already named off a few, like snacks. Having snacks on hand all the time is one of them.
You know how they used to say like vegetables should take most of your plate? I'm so like about that now. I don't know why. I'm just like, hey, my plate has to be more vegetables than anything else.
Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, I tend to eat with smaller plates and smaller utensils because it takes me longer to eat. Right? Because they say it takes about 20 minutes to hit your stomach. And if you eat with a smaller plate, even a kid's plate, you can't fill it up as much, right? Especially if you're at a gathering and there's not a lot of healthy options. I mean, that's still gonna fill you up. You know, you can still have certain things, but instead of having, you know, 10 pierogies, maybe 1, you know, so you can still taste it. And I always save the best for last. I always save my last bite of every meal is my favorite, whatever it is. So I get really sad if I'm too full to finish it, but I finish it eventually anyway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Living with Julie. We've talked a lot about food, nutrition, so we'll talk a little bit about exercise. So what would you say is your favorite form of exercise and why?
A favorite form?
Yeah, like are you more like for sports or going to the gym or cardio? What's your favorite?
My favorite is like going to the gym because that's where I get to like listen to my music. I silent my phone most of the times if I can. It's like my alone time, my mummy time, my me time. So, and I don't really do cardio right now, but I like to challenge myself. Like, so I'll always set like a PR, try to anyways.
Yeah, you lift pretty heavy, I've seen you.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is. It's like the relief or release after you've done it, right? You kind of like, we battle with our mind. So like we kind of like, oh, I can't lift that, it's too heavy. Well, have you tried? Did you try it? No? Well, try it. How are you going to know if you don't try, right? So that's kind of like where my mentality's at.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's not challenging, then you're not tearing those muscles. And that's what you need to do, is tear those muscles in order for them to repair themselves, right? And you have to time your food too. Nutrition is huge. I mean, to give you the energy you need for your workouts and also to recover afterwards is huge. Yeah. And I mean, if I was to tell someone, you know, to do cardio or weightlift, it would always be weightlifting. Like if they had to choose between one and the other, I mean, you walk on a regular basis anyway throughout the day, right? I mean, we do some form of cardio. I mean, I used to do a lot more cardio when I was competing, but now I try to get my 10,000 steps in a day. That's my go-to, no matter what, whether I make it to the gym or not. I try to do about 10,000. To me is pretty easy, pretty reasonable. And if you're parking further away, you're taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Right? It's just like all the little things. Do you have food in your car?
In my purse, I do.
Okay. See, I don't carry a purse, so I always have food in my console, like unsalted nuts, protein bars, like just something, right? And it's come in so handy where there's been road construction and, you know, having the kids in the car, and, you know, if you have hungry kids, you know what I'm talking about. So just always having stuff on you all the time. And like even when we go out of town, we'll stop at a grocery store instead of going to a restaurant, right? You're going to spend less and probably make better choices. But even if you do eat out, there's always, you know, you're allowed to be fussy. There's always a way to, you know, pick the best options. So no cardio for you as of right now.
No.
That's okay. And you work out at the gym. Do you work out at home as well, or just at the gym?
In the summer, if it's like too hot to work out, like we'll go to the beach, I'll try and swim laps, or I'll walk like in the water. I just like always mindful of moving.
Yeah, that's perfect. You know? I mean, you don't have to. Some people are intimidated to go to the gym right at first.
And that's another thing that I always share, like, don't be intimidated. We're all there with our own goals, our own agendas, you know, bring music, set your playlist beforehand, set a plan. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, hit the lat pull down, then low row, and, you know, have a plan. Don't just go in there like, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, you can always, you know, get a personal trainer. It's no different than anything else. You know, I mean, you have a toothache, you're going to go see a dentist. You have something medically wrong, you're going to go see a doctor, right? So, I mean, if you're really starting fresh, and you really don't know what to do, I mean, there's a ton of videos on YouTube. Bodybuilding.com is another good place. But hire a trainer. But just know that your nutrition is even more important. Like, you know, you can't out-train a poor diet. I'm sure you know that. If you were eating really poorly, you wouldn't have the energy you have. Right? To go and have your workouts and to recover from them and to want to go back and and also if your goal is weight loss, you know, if you're not eating properly and you're working out, it's going to take you a way longer time to get there, for sure. Last one. So do you have any goals for this year?
This year, I used to run marathons in Winnipeg with my sisters. It's like kind of like something we would do, and then COVID happened. So my goal is to get back into, we do a 10K relay. So I run 10K because I would be faster, and then my other sister I'd pass the baton and she would do the next leg. So that's my goal, is to be back running 10K. And by October, I think the race is. So I'll be on the treadmill.
That means you'll be doing some cardio. But that's a good goal.
It is. Like, I think it's mental. Like, I feel like I'm going to trip over my feet. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if that's a thing, but like as soon as I get going, I'm like, okay, I got this. And then it's like, you're going to trip over your feet. And then I stop. And then I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Just on the treadmill, or like have you tried the other ones, like the elliptical, the stepper?
So I've been leaning towards the elliptical lately. But yeah, that's my goal, is to get back into running. So
yeah, not outside in the winter. Well, there's the running track, the walking track at the rec center.
I do. I'll do a couple laps here and there. Yeah, like I like to sprint. Like I encourage that to people who are not knowing where to start. Just challenge yourself. Okay, if I can at least jog 1 lap, I'll walk 2.
Yeah.
Next day, try and run 2 laps and, walk less. And
that's exactly what HIIT training is, which
Yeah.
is great because it keeps your body guessing, right? With having your heartbeat go up and then come back down and up, back down. It's actually way more beneficial than just walking or running at the same pace the entire time.
Yeah.
There's huge benefits. Your body will keep burning for hours afterwards. So what motivates you to continue this lifestyle? I mean, you've already, like, your kids are pretty huge. And
so for me, like, living in a small town, my sobriety is super important to me. So it's just, like, when I feel that, like, trigger creep up, I guess, or that urge, I'm like, hey, maybe I should go work out. I don't know if it's like built up anger, sadness, anxiety, but I always remind myself, you always feel good after a good workout. So, and my kids are also watching me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Mom, are you going to the gym today? What time are you going to the gym today? Can I come to the gym? Like, when my son's here, I'm like, yes, you can. Like, come with me. But yeah, it's just, say if I had adults in my life when I was growing up that worked out, maybe I would have gotten into it earlier. Instead of, the social, the sitting around a table, gossiping, smoking cigarettes and a pot of coffee, like, that was the norm. When were they burning, they were drinking pots of coffee. What were they doing? Just sitting there? Like, if I had coffee, I'd be like,
Kids are watching.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm so mindful of that.
And that's why I really try to reach out to, even pregnant women to start their kids off on vegetables before even fruit.
Yes.
Not saying that fruit is not good for you, but fruit is still sugar, even though it's natural sugar. I personally will only eat berries because they're the lowest on the glycemic index. But when it comes to kids, right, like, you got to think, their taste buds are just developing. So if you start feeding them sweets right away, it's going to be a lot harder to get those vegetables into them. And, it seems like it's younger and younger where I see posts all the time where people are giving their kids sugar at such an early age, right? Or putting ketchup on their food or butter or whatever, because that's the way they like it, right? Yeah. I mean, being a parent doesn't come with instructions. I totally get it. It's just being mindful and trying to make better choices, right? Unfortunately, we are running out of time, but I have one last question for you, Danielle. What is your best piece of advice for those wanting to make a lifestyle change?
I would say set a goal and track it. Like, for me, okay, today I'm going to lift a 20-pound dumbbell. Well, in a week, maybe I can lift 25. Like, you always
just keep trying to improve.
Improving every day. And I always say, like, I'm just going to be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I mean, every time that I have a client, the one thing that I ask from them, and this is just for them, I don't see it, I don't need to see it, no one else needs to see it, but I always ask people to make a list of their whys. And you have a ton, just like everyone else, but just to have that visual when you feel like giving up, when you don't want to go to the gym, when you don't want to keep eating healthy, when you don't want to keep, taking those steps, just to have that list maybe by your bedside, get up and read it every day. Just to keep you going. And that could be, your health, your kids, your finances, we all have our reasons as to why we do what we do. Wonderful. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that you were able to get, something out of this today, and that if you've been sitting on the fence wanting to make some changes, I hope that Danielle has inspired you to make those changes. Thank you for watching.